What up, YouTube? It's Mr. Spooky's here, and you know what? I've just been playing quite a bit of Pokemon tonight. It's Absol, and you know, I feel like I've gotten into actually a decent tier here. I've been playing it since it dropped. I didn't really start playing rank until a few days in, so didn't start climbing or anything. But Veteran Class 2, so I'm about halfway up through Veteran. I'm almost at Class 3 right there, you can see. But yeah, we're playing on Absol until, honestly, just the end of the last tier. What was it, Master? No, Master. Expert. Expert tier. Just getting really frustrated because, like, I needed to hard carry the end of games, whereas Absol can really put you so far ahead that you can just steamroll them, like, from the early, but if your teammates aren't with it and the enemy team is, and they kind of lock down, it's harder to make those, you know, meaningful leads count, and people also just don't want to take fights that they should win, and they just don't understand they should be doing a little bit further down. So that and some of the broken characters in this game, like, required me to play a different character just so that I could actually deal with them and still, you know, carry the games freaking hard. And one of those is this guy right here, Zero Aura. So Zero Aura is just so annoying. Like, honestly, these are his two dash abilities. They're serviceable. They're actually good dashes. Both of these abilities are annoying, but understandable. At least Discharge should probably be nerfed because he has to do nothing to deal like 2,000 damage AoE around him. It just absolutely squishy. For like no reason. He just gets to. And then there's really the biggest problem is this. His Unite move. Being able to guaranteed target somebody and deal like 2,000 damage. That's like half of to 2/3 of Squishy's health. Like, and that's really like, I've seen it deal like 2,400 damage on this one move alone. And with that, like, you just don't survive. If you're playing like Pikachu or Alola Ninetales, like you're just dead. There's literally nothing you can do to save yourself unless they only hit you with this and you actually happen to be a little bit ahead, and like maybe you pop your Unite move so you get a shield. Like, there's not much you really get to do, and that's just so unfreaking fortunate, because honestly this character isn't that bad, poorly designed. Like, he's actually a pretty cool, interesting character with decent enough counterplay sometimes, except for when he has his Unite move. I mean, that is just some of the characters you don't really get to counterplay them too much with their Unite move, because it's like really strong, but more so him than anybody else. If he presses his Unite move, you've just lost the fight for like almost no conceivable reason, and it's really frustrating. But honestly, other than this character, there's only one that's really a problem. And as far as nerfing this goes, I would probably say that this could deal like half the damage and just stun, because Zero Aura like deals so much damage anyways, and like his basic attacks paralyze and stuff. Like, he does enough that essentially he doesn't need all of the extra that they've given him to just murder somebody. And when your ultimate can like half shot a tank when you're ahead, there's something wrong. Like, it's not even half shot tank, like it almost like one shot them essentially when you're ahead. If you're even with them but you've managed to like stack a few items or something, you're just going to half shot them for sure regardless. And if you're behind, I've been ahead of Zero Auras and just almost murdered them, and then all they did was press their ultimate and I just get fucking obliterated because Zero Aura. And it's like, well, that was fair. Like, now I'm not going to be able to push or, you know, clear these mobs just because Zero Aura presses Unite move. And like, could I have outplayed it? More often than not, usually no, because it's guaranteed. There's literally no way to dodge this thing unless you're invulnerable or invincible. I mean, it's really freaking annoying. Like, I do not understand why he needs this to be the way it does. It definitely needs, it doesn't even need the AoE after, it definitely needs a nerf. The other character is this purple penis eater. Oh my god, I freaking hate Gengar. Like, every time he's on your team too, they just like suicide in and then don't do any damage. And then every time they're on the enemy team, it's like, oh cool, oh look, there's a Haunter, he's finally out of the, and he's level 7, cool, I have to, oh man, it's too late, he's already hexed, like sludged and hexed 2 people, and you've already fallen behind, because he's just, he's gonna absolutely just eat your booty cheeks. And it's obnoxious. This character's not that great, except for when he has these 2 abilities up, his Hex and Sludge Bomb. The Sludge Bomb will just mark him, and then you get to reset your targeted dash that deals AoE damage that will 2-shot a squishy, and it resets it like 3 or 4 times for the duration of somebody being poisoned. So you're essentially guaranteed to kill any tank, almost any tank. You're guaranteed to kill any squishy, regardless of what they've built or what they're doing. You're just going to kill them if you hit your Sludge Bomb and then you follow it up with your Hex. Like, absolutely ridiculous. I don't even play this character. I'm just gonna actually set this stuff right now because I don't own him, so I'm getting sick of it just highlighting those, because those are the worst ones. But yeah, Sludge Bomb and Hex just make him an absolute menace, and it's unreal how much damage he does. Like, honestly, Hex doesn't need the extra damage on its upgrade. It could just heal him so that he could at least be like a pop-in drain tank that kind of makes sense for his playstyle, instead of actually you know, just absolutely annihilating an entire team by just mashing all of his buttons, man. Like, it's insane just how much he gets to deal for doing almost nothing. And it really, if you're playing Gengar and you're climbing up the ladder, people just call you a Gengar abuser. It's not a skill thing. Like, if you're using Gengar to get up the ladder and you're doing stuff, you're not good. If you get put on any other mon and are actually asked to play the game in an honest manner, you will just lose, because all you do is point and click murder half the team so you don't have to play the game. Because you don't have to play the game when the enemy team's dead. And Gengar is the #1 like expose of that. Everything, his whole kit, none of this works unless you have murdered the enemy team, and then you're free to go do whatever you want. And that's all it does, is just murder the enemy team. Like, also, it does help him take objectives, because neutral mons count for the resets, which is really stupid. So he's the only character that can solo Zapdos as well. Like, yeah, you guys gotta nerf this character. Like, if you're gonna nerf him and still want to be able to solo Zapdos, that's why, like, have Hex heal him instead of dealing the extra damage, so he doesn't just melt it down, but he starts healing off of the Hex damage. And then it also makes Shell Bell make more sense on Gengar. I mean, not that people weren't already wanting it, because it's extra special attack. And yeah, the extra healing does actually come in clutch in a lot of those close fights when, you know, it is just that last hit, but then your Hex goes off and it gives you an extra, you know, little bundle of health with your special attack. And also, really, he doesn't need the reset on his Hex to be like 1 second, especially when he has the half-second cast time. It should be like 1.5 to 2.5 seconds on the reset. That way you have a little bit of time to actually pop him, especially if they want to leave the damage the way it is. But even if they nerf it, because it'll still deal a lot of damage, especially if they make it heal him, they can real easily just make it, you know, 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds on the reset, instead of just, you know, almost instantaneously. And then at that point, instead of getting 4 hexes out of a Sludge Bomb, he'll only get like 2, or honestly try to scale it down to like 3 at the most with healing instead of the extra damage. And then that could be fair. Like, I could see that, but in the current state, no way. No way at all. And it's like, none of that is even talking about his Unite move. Like, it's just a Rengar ultimate. He goes invisible and can just pop up in a spot and just hit somebody for free, you know, just beating the crap out of him, deal special attack damage, all of this stuff, scaling your special attacks. Then he just Sludge Bombs you, and then hexes you again after you manage to make it away, even if you know, by the grace of everything holy, you manage to make it away. Like, he'll just catch you again with his ultimate, so it's really annoying. It's not very fair, and it's got to be adjusted. That's why I've honestly really started playing more Cinderace at the rank I'm at, because with Cinderace you get invulnerability on the feint right there, so it's just like really way too strong. I'm swapping this over to Blaze Kick because after playing a bit more with some Blaze Kick, it is definitely the way to go, because you get to actually like see somebody who's died. This is the way that you stop the Zeraoras and the Gengars. If they're gonna go in on you, you can Blaze Kick them, stop them for a second, and I think it gives you extra attack speed if I'm not. Leaves them burn for front enemies, becomes immune to hindrances while moving. Yeah, so they can't CC you or anything while you're Blaze Kicking, so it honestly helps like with Snorlaxes and things like that. And then yeah, when you upgrade it, increases your basic attack speed. So once they go in on you, you just Blaze Kick them, you auto attack them a couple times, and then they do their last pitch desperate. Oh, I'm gonna throw this at you to, you know, actually hit you with something. And then you use your iframes from feint, and you can outplay almost anything with this setup. But the thing is, like, I have to scale up to that point, and you really can carry the games easier if you're actually playing something that's going to deal most of the damage. Like, I have matches where, you know, I'll go over to my history real quick before I end this video. Just like, not fair play points, battle record. Yeah, see, I have matches where, like, what, I think this is one, yeah. Freaking Crustle game, I just accidentally ended up Crustle, but like 130,000 damage, just like 70% of the team's damage. And this was, I think, my last game out of Expert, if I'm not mistaken, or my first in Veteran. So either way, like, it's a lot easier to outplay a lot of the dumb stuff. And like, yeah, see, they didn't have anything that was utterly broken. And yeah, I mean, like, when you're dealing with that much damage, and like, you know, the way you're carrying these games is through damage, you have to be able to survive. Because really, and that's how you carry, is you're the one who puts down the damage, you're the one who makes sure things get done, and you will win these games. Like, you know, here I only did 43,000, but I think that one was a lot of timing. I think I stole Zapdos with that one. Like, this one looks like a good candidate. Like, yeah, 84,000 damage, and the closest on their team did almost 70. And there you go, they had a Zeraora. This is one of those games where I had to kick him like constantly to just keep him off of me so that I could auto attack him a couple times, and then he would sit there and hit his Unite move, and I would go invulnerable with feint. It's like the only way to deal with that stuff. And then Gengar, freaking just a stupid Gengar abuser over here, freaking not actually that good at the game, barely managed to cling on to a team that's, well, honestly, we were stomping. The thing is, it's just like I did most of the killing, because most of these guys just held out. From like what I remember, these two were bot, and they just held out. We were top, and I just shredded with Zeraora, because it's Zeraora, dude. Like, if he's on my team, I'm gonna make sure he's fucking, like, benefiting me. It's pretty annoying, like, even in lane. Like, this is a good lane character. He's supposed to be a jungler. That's how strong he is. Like, it's frustrating, man. Really frustrating. But anyways, hope you guys have a good day, and go out there and play some Pokemon Unite. Have a great time. Like, subscribe. Catch you later.